Good evening, and welcome to another cast of VRML Breachers. Today we have an exciting game between, it's going to be, I believe, OL and Eradiate. My name is Martini, and today I have the amazing Nightfire in the booth with me. If you want to say hello and introduce yourself real quick, let me also adjust your face. It's a little off screen, but I gotcha.
Yeah, welcome in everybody. Thank you all for dropping by for an exciting matchup this afternoon between two very high-tier teams in the NA side of things, developing squads with OL and Eradiate both in that Diamond division, hoping to continue to climb the ladder up into that Master tier in Season 2, the all-important season where ultimately one of these, what the two top teams in the North American region get flown out to play live on stage at VRML Con 2024. Super hyped event. I cannot wait until we have more details to share around what we're going to be doing for VRML Con. But on top of obviously live games, there's going to be a lot of community meetup and booths and demos and stuff like that, so it's going to be a really cool event. And you can check out more details at vrml.com/vrmlcon. That's what we're at. Really, it's always on the mind. Every time I get into an NA game, I got to get the plug in right away because it is first and foremost. And I got to imagine these teams, especially when you're at this rank at the Diamond tier, are certainly thinking about the possibility. What could it be if they continue to win? They continue to get better and better as a team. Could they be a team that gets to play live on stage at the end of this year, or this season? It's exciting, Martini, and it's why I think every match when we jump into the NA side and is has a little extra to it,
I mean, just the fact that you can, fight your way all the way up to that elusive Master Tier, get your hand on those finalists skins, and to your point, potentially play top 2 in those grand finals at VRMLCon, which I'm excited. I gotta look at the details. I want to go myself because if I can cast live, I would love to see that and do that because I know it's just different. People who say it's not different, it is. Like to play in front of people and be cheered on.
It's
just, you really do. Yeah, you feel like you're an athlete. You really feel like you're in a stadium, and it's just exciting. It gives you goosebumps. It's different than just playing alone at home. No one's cheering you on. Like at best, if you're getting casted, you're playing it in the background so you can hear things go off. But that's the best you got. So it's exciting to see what's going on. OL and Eradiate, I just was checking out their stuff. They've been climbing their ranks. They've been fighting well. This is gonna be exciting to see which one of these two teams can hop their way forward.
We're looking at a lot of experience coming in on both rosters with some of these teams, OL being around since Season 1, Eradiate since Season 1, some of these players since Season 0 on both of these squads. I think they have a few new additions in their roster for Season 2, but it is a lot of consistency we're seeing in the OL and Eradiate rosters this afternoon. I think it's why this match was so highly voted on, and it's why we're getting ready to dive into our first map right away, which is going to be on Factory.
Factory. I mean, you can't go wrong with the bread and butter of breachers, and I really think this is where everything's tested. Can you really run these plays? Can you breach? Can you set up these things? Because people know it's a defender-oriented map, and it's a good place to really test your skills and breachers and see, can you attack effectively as a team, or can you hold yourself down on that defending side? It's not an easy thing, but we'll see. As it looks like, never mind, I need to switch these team names really quick, but it looks like we're gonna have OL coming in. I believe the full name's Outlaw, but it looks like they're going with OL for the team name on a thermal side. But hey, I love it. But it looks like they are setting up right now outside of this little lobby area. Nothing quite happening yet. Again, they got a lot of time in the game right now, but it looks like it's gonna be on the first floor bomb site, which is always an interesting setup. I feel like I've seen Roamer plays a lot on that second floor, but it looks like they're not going for that this time around.
Yeah, and they are just again on that outside setup phase, looking to Try to work into what looks like a decent setup on the defense, but really a little bit of aggression coming in from Uncle Ron as they work their way up outside of the B entryway and are pushing up to what is going to be several outlaws here. One headshot, looks for the second, can't find it. Flighty swings and finds the kill.
Yes, I don't know if you saw that. Infamous just was able to sneak out of electrical right there. I can't talk, but it's fine. You're able to swing right in. But oh well, able to take a shot down, but it was a trade right now. So he got that refrag on Uncle Ron there. And that was definitely a really solid hold right there on the electric. Never mind, Darwin on the back end there, sneaking in as it was not ready, but Flighty able to get finished up there, but it leaves it down with Clubber on that refrag. Now leaving it a 2-3 right now. OL taking some hard losses, but not hard, minor losses in this upcoming round with about a minute left in the round. Definitely not an impossibility for them, but they do have a sort of uphill battle to fight against right now with Eradiate, as they've held down this position pretty well, especially with that EMP down. They're going to have to be able to scoop that up and then get a good push in.
Yeah, fortunately the Radiate defense not aware of the EMP down, so they're not necessarily pushing out to defend against it, and it does get picked up by Ghost. I do wonder if they'll shift over towards B side or keep applying the pressure here at A, because certainly is where the duo is set up for. Fluffy can easily rotate over to B site though, and so it is a very easy switch to be if they do spend the time rotating all the way over there. They only have 35 seconds left on the clock, so I do think the call is to push A site.
Yeah, I thought they would have gone for the rotation, but a little bit too late there. Looks like Fluffy trying to get some shots off, but Infamous able to finish that off right now. But Ghost has to do something, throws in the frag. Unfortunately, it's stuck in the corner.
Ooh.
As we see this finish one out anyways, that does go to Fluffy Penguins. As Eradiate comes out first, win on the... But again, they are defending, right? I expect them to win. But oh well, I think put up a good fight there. But you saw, I don't know if you saw, Radiate beginning that round, they had two people set up to really pinch them in that little janitor area.
Yeah, it was a nice attempt by OL working in there with those 1-2 kills that they could have picked up, but still, the player advantage coming in from Eradiate, and they locked themselves in with a very solid defensive pistol round. They'll be able to commit in heavily if they want to round 2, but it doesn't look like they are going to be going too big on the economy side here. They're only investing into one Omen, and that's it, really. Tripwine, which has been a big MVP on the EU side earlier this afternoon. I think they had multiple kills and clutched a round or two.
The Tripmine, really? Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see the Tripmines, I'm sure, coming out here. I mean, it's hard to... especially when you're playing at a high level like this, to pay attention to every little detail, you know, and that is the job of the recon. You have to really do your hard work, analyze all the different corners, but it goes underappreciated, I think, when these teams do manage to clear through and not get hit by a lot of the utility that does get deployed by the defense. And well, we'll see what the push looks like from Outlaw as they do vault into the top floor of A and likely get set up for, I imagine, a hatch sort of aggression down onto the A site.
Yeah, imagine it might be getting set up in the computer room and then pushing, as you mentioned, right on the A side. And they got that breach wall, right? That breach wall to kind of really work themselves in. But that's if things go to plan here. We'll have to see. I do see a couple stray roamers here kind of roaming around, trying to catch out the OL team. But I don't know if you noticed, OL plays it very, very close. You know, they're very tight. I think earlier, you know, the previous round they had about 4 or 5 players all together as they pushed through. Yeah. That's, you know, it's interesting to see. Tight gameplay is really good for those refrags, but you do leave yourself susceptible to some of those frags, right? So they do got to be careful and be mindful of that. But we'll see how this goes. That looks like they might be going for a 3-2 sort of formation as the other 2 players peeled off, going in through assembly line right now. And, you know, just biding their time. OL does seem to have a good amount of setup time here, as it's about a minute and a half in a round before things have really kicked off.
Yeah. There's a decent amount of time getting chewed away here. They're going to drop down to the outside of the hatch. Infamous catches one. A goes scooping up a second. They've got control on the outside of A and likely going to set up for the opening up of A, or maybe they'll swing to B. Who knows what the play is here for Outlaw. Radiate certainly doesn't. They have Extra is still tucked in at B, waiting for the push to come in, waiting for an opportunity to maybe swing out and attack the backside of this offense. It's all about timing as Darwin finds another one.
Darwin on that little back area. I love these rumbers. Are working out very well for Radiate, able to knock down another player from Darwin. I got a perfect shot there. I'm happy. But anyways, Bad Boy Bishop able to finish up extras on the end there. Now leaving 3-2, but I don't know if you noticed, OL is now trapped inside this computer room as Uncle Ron is upstairs, and the other two Radiate players are on the sides ready to get some pinch set up. And I'm wondering if they can do something, because it looks like that EMP is stuck outside and they gotta do something. Otherwise, it might come down to time.
We'll fight over here between Fluffy and A Ghost, trying to defend off the B site push on the in the meanwhile, Darwin is fighting on the backside, shuts down the EMP. Uncle Ron flies in with the team, and there's the Eradiate defense. 3 left alive. They secure themselves another round and will be able to go in full with economy in their control into this next one. I think OL also, after that eco, will be able to full buy here too. So we are going to be getting our first pretty evenly matched round coming up in round 3 because of how these squads have.
I mean, you had a good point, I think, in the previous round that Radiate, based off what I'm seeing, they play pretty conservative, I think, on their economy. I don't think anyone played. Oh my goodness, I'm burping right now. No one played into a Vezin last in the second round, which we see happen very often in the NA matches, right? They tend to kind of play a little more aggressive on that economy to really hope, try and secure that second round, especially after that first pistol round, because the opposite team at best is always gonna have a pistol themselves, so it helps kind of turn that economy advantage on their side. But we didn't quite see that happen there.
Yeah, it's a risk that some teams have been taking lately, but a pretty reserved investment on both ends, and it actually, I guess OL not able to fully commit in to rifles across the board, but utility is going to be a factor on this push as they do open up that first hatch. A drone comes in, spots out Infamous, and the push does begin. Flighty may run into Uncle Ron. They're going to run into utility first. There's door blockers, static emitters, everything placed around here to fend off this outlaw drop-in.
I know, it's looking a little rough on that outside. Got orange stairs set up with about 1, 2, 3 players coming in from OL side. They have the Vezins in hand. I know they're feeling a little bit itchy now to get that first win on the scoreboard for them, because I saw a lot of people voting in for OL, at least in the chat, but I don't know if you saw the community votes already. Never mind, Uncle Ron able to knock down Flighty there with that Vezin in hand, as both players from OL, so now trying to get some shots in, but Uncle Ron is holding them down in this corner. And Infamous able to shoot down Ghost on the hatch there, I believe. I didn't even see that. And now the OL players, first attempt to push in. They only got 3 players up right now. And this Irradiate deep. Never mind, Plumber able to get another shot in on Uncle Ron as they get this push in on the. Never mind, Xperia in there with the frag on the back, and now leaving just Bishop alone in this lockers by themselves with Resi K, I believe, following up.
Yeah, they're on the hatch there to go up and get the EMP. That goes down. Infamous is going to swing in here, catch a kill, and Resi's alone in a 1v4. They'll get shut down and Irradiate take control of the series, or at least the first half of map 1. 3-0 economy very much in their favor, and Outlaw not going to be able to full buy into this next round. So it's going to be another eco for Outlaw or partial buy, because I do believe that A Ghost and Plubra did not invest into that last round. And so they will go with the hope that the Vezins can do the job. And if they do lose again, they'll have that extra loss bonus coming through in order to afford whatever they want for the next 2 rounds. So it's not an ideal spot to be in. You don't want to be relying on a consecutive loss bonus, but it is where the Outlaw squad is right now, and Irradiate are just looking good. Hopefully they can get their 5th back in before the start of this next round, as we do see a bot occupying one of the slots there on Outlaw.
Yeah, there might have been
Definitely
a weird server thing. I
bot.
saw bots come in on both sides. I'm wondering if maybe both sides lost a player for a second, but as we see the Radiate player already back in. I don't know. What are you thinking right now from OL? It's been looking rough. The community votes definitely look right. Never mind, Fluffy Penguin. Almost about to get picked off by the bot. But obviously, Nick not up for it. But yeah, I don't know. Irradiate, the community votes are probably feeling pretty confident right now. 3-0.
Yeah.
And it's looking pretty stuck on that way, at least for the time being.
Yeah, it's 61-11 on those votes, so it's certainly the connoisseurs are feeling confident on their opinions right now. And oh well, again, just need to get something on the board here. Not helpful to have down a player, but that's a good refrag from Flighty to get rid of Fluffy Penguins on the outside of A. Really does open up opportunities. Again, they can pressure B like they did last time. A nice tuck in here from Bad Boy leads to a kill, but we're trading back and forth as Eradiate swing back out from their defensive tuck-ins.
Yeah, these pushes from OL have just been not working out in their favor. Now Ghost stuck right now in computer room as Plubra trying to come up with the frag coming out and almost getting a kill out of that one. That would have been a deadly one, and that would have been a great one to watch, at least for me. And the viewers out there. But right now, Eradiate has just been holding down this corner, and if I were extras, I'd be feeling a little confident here. As you're just tucked in behind that bomb, and on top of that, the health economy is not looking good for OL as they have both players down, and that syringe, they're just waiting for the charge.
Have to see what the plan is. Minute 15, and yeah. Just waiting for that health syringe so that they can push in. But again, they don't have a lot of time to wait around for that charge to come back. I think, I don't know how long it is for that recharge, but it feels like an eternity, I'm sure, as Plubra and A Ghost wait for it to come back online so that Plubra can push. I don't know. They have an opportunity here on B site. Darwin has a really nice lean there on the corner. They'll rotate off of that wall being opened up, prompts a nade that doesn't go through. That could have been devastating if it had found itself through the hole, and a nice pickup there from A Ghost.
And Ghost trying to get some pushing on here. They got 30 seconds left in the timer, but he does have EMP in hand. Going in for the plant, it looks like. Are they ready for the push in, potentially from the other side? Yes, they are. They got some shots out, but Darwin gets a knock, and Infamous there with the follow-up. And man, I honestly thought, oh well, at least a bare minimum was gonna get that plant off. I'm surprised they didn't go for the plant. Because I don't know if they know, but that angle is a little hard to shoot from. They could have got the plant off and then maybe peeled off. And I know that sounds like too much of a commitment, but 200, credits in the pocket for every single player on top of that 2,600 consecutive loss bonus. You're pretty close to getting that Bezin, if not definitely having it outright. But it doesn't matter. I see the Bezins in hand anyways. But hey, I'm always trying to be on the better side with more credits in hand. You're probably better off with that economy.
Do wonder what is going on with the Outlaw team right now. Why they can't get that fifth into the lobby. Definitely, especially on offense, you don't want a bot. It just is never any help. You can find some success from a bot on defense, but on offense, it kind of you're just giving the enemy weapons. Not that Irradiate need them. They don't need an Omen.
yeah.
But Nick is going to try and certainly deliver it through the front door. And Infamous will be ready and waiting to eliminate that threat. The rest of Outlaw, however, will most certainly be positioned to rotate in towards that B side.
Ooh, and just as you had mentioned earlier, that bot ran right in, and I'm assuming they saw the feed at the door there as they got that quick shot off on the bot from a Radiate side now. But OL setting again on the outside here. I don't think they're mixing up their play, maybe just a little bit, but they're playing in a very similar fashion that they did in the previous round. They were on this first floor. And I see 1, 2, 3. Am I missing? Where is the fourth OL player? Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, and never mind. Uncle Ron able to get that team kill there with the frag in hand. They might have accidentally had to bounce back. And never mind. Goes on the outside, getting that shot off on Infamous there, as it now leaves 2 players left for Radiate. I do not know what happened for Radiate, but maybe they got a little confident there, as now down 2 players.
Very interesting. Maybe, yeah, a slip of the hand, but either way. It is 1 less for Irradiate. They still have the no real weapon advantage. The 4 alive have Vezins, and it looks like they do have their 5th reconnected. So if they do get into another round, they'll have not bots on the team, and so this could be 2 rounds that they could lock in if Darwin has a say about it. And as they find out a double kill there out the doorway.
It looks like Darwin definitely had something to say about that. Unfortunately, wasn't too much as they got knocked down with that refrag. But no, they are 2-2. This is probably the closest we've seen Irradiate and OL in these last couple rounds, and I think If they can hold something down here, maybe have something happen to this, but I don't know. This Iradiate defense is showing a lot of trouble right now for OL as they've not been able to push in. Able to get those picks off consistently at the beginning of these couple of rounds, at least when the fighting starts happening. But now a minute left in the round for OL. I'm not sure if OL is going to be able to fight this one in as they get the frag out. I don't think it landed on anything. But again, they are biding their time, trying to see if they can get some easy picks. And Fluffy Penguin throwing out the smoke to maybe slow down this push. And never mind, that Trip Mine comes out and does gold here, but Fluffy Penguin there for the finish up. And I don't know, just when I thought OL had a slight chance, looks like they didn't.
Let's see what Outlaw can pull out of their hat here in this final round. They've got their 5th connected into the lobby. If they can stay connected, they'll have a chance to come in fully kitted across the board with 5 alive into this next round. I'm not seeing Rezi buy anything, so I have my concerns on if they are.
Hey, they might be putting a lot of thought into this purchase. You never know.
Okay,
it's coming out of their credit card. They want to make sure it doesn't hit their credit score too much. They want to make sure they're fine, right?
Yeah. all of the cash available on the table though for Elon. So we are going to see health syringes active camo coming through. It'll be very interesting to see what the setup here looks like, but Eradiate have done their job already. They can let one round through. It's not the end of the world on Factory, but if they could put up a perfect 6-0 set, then they're looking at taking a pistol round and just running away with map 1 7-0.
I mean, yeah, at this point, if they get this win, for bare minimum, they're getting that draw, but the way this is looking, unless OL puts out a lot on that defending side, I expect Radiate to come away with this one. At this point, it's well, we'll see. Let's see this. Let's watch this Brown finish, and then maybe I'll make some predictions because I don't want to get ahead of myself. Because I've seen some teams come back with just that one round in the pocket, and it's not an impossibility.
Are they gonna detect Infamous here, waiting on this top floor, or is Infamous gonna get an opportunity, maybe swing behind the Outlaw offense if they're not careful enough? I don't think the drone scouted out this top floor. And so it's all going to come down to how long A-Ghost holds the window and defends this angle, and if it's long enough. It looks like they're going to be holding it for Infamous. And Infamous catches a huge kill that opens up the flank for them.
I was just about to say that the roaming plays for Iradiate have been giving a good amount of value here. And that was the one moment I thought OL had it. They had one player on that back end, but somehow they just did not see their head. And I'm just shocked. Maybe it was just a position or the angle they were holding, but it did not work out. Anyways, Uncle Ron now coming on this back end. I wonder if Rezi K will be ready for it. No, they're not, as Uncle Ron comes in, swings in, almost gets a 3-piece. There's Bad Boy Bishop is one of the last 2 players. Never mind, they are the last player here as they come in with a 1 pick off. Infamous almost getting a 2-piece. But man, those roamers came in a big value for that previous round for Radiate. As they knocked down, I think 2 or 3 players on the back end there, right? Just from the roamers alone.
Yeah, that was some big roaming energy there from Iradiate. And Outlaw, I think, really just plagued. It seems Rezi was there for that round. I know they did they flew the drone through and stuff, but they are disconnected again going into this part of this round. They really need their fit. They need to find a rhythm here, and to have the kind of off and on again 4th, 5th setup makes it very difficult. It makes it very hard to find. Are we playing a 4v5? Are we playing a 5? Because it changes how you set up and where you position certain players. And that's a big moment. Iradiate could lock in a pistol round and take the entire map, move right into series map number 2, and have a lot of momentum and energy going into it.
I mean, they might be going in for a series point right after this, right? If they get this win, which I would not be shocked. They only need 1, and considering it's a 4v5, I will say, the bots on the defending sides are a little bit better than the attacking ones. But again, I would not put my money on it if I were any normal person.
Yeah. No, you would not. And well, hopefully they can reconnect at any point to take control, or they'll be back in the lobby and replace that bot with a real person. But for now, at least, it is Ewat waiting outside of B, a risky position to be in. But for now, Iradiate is taking it slow on the attacking side before they break in. Actually taking a bit of a long route, really making sure there's no roamers on the outside of A. Indicates to me that maybe it is going to be an A setup and an A push, especially with the drone doing a little bit of scanning inside of that A bomb space.
I'm wondering if they're going in for either some distraction play or maybe like a little bit of back and forth from both teams. Anyways, Fry coming out, almost connecting, but not quite, as that wall is definitely there in the way. But it looks like they might be opening a lot of holes on both sides, as the Extra is able to get that shot off, but gets that refrag from Plubra. And the bot is somehow, never mind, they survived. They did not survive that one, now leaving 4-3 right now for Iradiate. And Infamous on the other side comes in with the breach coming live, and now we're unable to knock down one last player. Now coming down to Bad Boy Bishop for OL side, and they almost got the pick there, but not quite with that. Never mind, that Taurus and Hand made it light work for them, I guess, but now they're giving them 1 point for Iradiate. Man, I don't know. It's a little bit. I'm hoping something comes from OL, because I thought they would have had that one. Oh, never mind. Yeah, like some of the picks.
Iradiate are looking good out the start here for sure. 7-0 out the gates on a map number 1, and I don't know if Outlaw need a timeout to figure out what's going on with their 5th. All those connection issues, the headset tech issues. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
What is preventing them? It's the unfortunate reality of being in an online league for the most part, that you do have a lot of potential issues with connections and tech issues, and it's something we won't necessarily be as concerned about when we get down into the live finals at VRML, but still people will be on a server, I think. I don't know. Well, more details will be logged in closer to the date, but it is going to definitely be exciting to see 2 teams playing this game on stage. I cannot wait for that. Hopefully, though, Outlaw do get their 5th, and then we have a proper 5v5 going into our 2nd map, which is TBD, but Iradiate definitely have control of the momentum right now. I guess while we wait, and a quick timeout, we can shout out the sponsors. Quick shout out to them. We do appreciate their support. In particular, we appreciate Triangle Factory, a fantastic developer that has supported the VRML in both Season 1 and 2, and is supplying the funding for us to be able to fly out the 10 players from the 2 North American teams to play live on stage. So we really do appreciate Triangle Factory and their support. They've been a fantastic help in helping us grow VR esports for the Breachers community, and it's been a lot of fun. Season 2 definitely has a lot of buzz, and I really do. I love everything we're doing, from Gibular Bob's articles on the website. If you haven't checked those out, please go do the weekly recaps, just down to, again, the live North American finals. It's a lot to look forward to in Season 2, and we're only into the 5th week. We've had fantastic games early. EU's coming through with stellar games. They had a great game this afternoon, and it's all possible because of the support of Triangle Factory. So a big shout out to them. Obviously, HyperX, you're hearing our voices on HyperX gear. They support the casting team and our North American finalists. ProTube VR, one of our longest VRML sponsors. They offer fantastic stock options that help stabilize your aim in any VR shooter. We recommend you check them out, and you can use code ILOVEVRML at checkout to get a 10% discount on your purchase. And also Helga, the esports bot manager, coming back for Season 2 as a sponsor. They're a fantastic tool/bot that helps you organize your scheduling with your teams and other teams. There's a lot of squads that do utilize that Helga feature, and it makes it very easy to schedule scrims, regular season matches, and yeah, please do go check them out. We appreciate their support. Does look like we are going to be into a 10-minute timeout, though, and so with my shout outs done, the last one being to subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up button on this stream right now, I think we could probably head into a little bit of a break, and we'll come back for map number 2.
Just kicking down all the doors, guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Victor is right on top, what is this? And there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy can hit to the EMP inside. Oh my God! No! It's a 5, 4, 3.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Victor is right on top, what is this? And there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy can hit to the EMP inside. Oh my God! No! It's a 5, 4, 3.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Vince right on top, listen. And there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy. Hit to the EMP inside. He fires. Oh my gosh! No! It's a 5, 4, 3.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back. We looks like we got all 10 players in, and it looks like let me let them know they're good to go. They're good to go. Always appreciate when teams do what, check out for the casters and make sure, hey, is everything good? Because it does make our life a little easier, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Not to quote McDonald's there, but I do enjoy it. But it looks like they have chosen a ship, and I was just talking to Nightfire. I feel like ship's not chosen as much anymore, especially with the Arctic
really
coming
is.
into this rotation, and it appears to be a pretty solid choice. Arctic does for these teams, so I love seeing teams hopping on ship. I loved seeing it last season. They're good to go. Yeah. Okay. Yes, y'all can start. Okay.
Yeah, it should be an exciting one to get into, and it's interesting because I do feel like it has the potential to go very one-sided, especially with how Eradiate have been playing off of that early 7-0 win. And I guess we'll find out as we get ready to dive into map number 2 here on Ship.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get over those map intros. They just look so clean. Like every time I'm watching it, I'm like, wow, someone did such a good. Whoever did that, you did an amazing work. I don't know exactly who did it. I know someone on production team, I'm sure, but they did a really good job. And then obviously having everything set up and pieced together. I really, I think that's one of my favorite things about working with VRML and all this stuff. It's just like some of the production value. Like it just feels like top tier stuff. I think it looks top tier stuff, regardless of how you feel about teams and whatever. I gotta say, I think the production's pretty much up there, and you can't knock it, right?
Yep. Yeah, a lot of effort goes in on behind the scenes to make it happen, and we do appreciate all the work from the mini map to the assets. It's a tremendous team effort, and doesn't go unappreciated by us either. I know that we get a lot of good appreciation from the folks that do tune in to cast, and we do love to see the positive comments. It means a lot. So thank you for those. As we do get ready to dive back in, the setup is what we're waiting for as B gets breached. A bit of drone work comes in to try and figure out where this defense is, and the first kill comes through. Extrius picking apart Flighty. A nade prepped and primed for maybe their entry into B site.
I mean, we saw this Eradiate defense already before, but oh, that Taurus almost knocks off a head there, but not quite. As it just slipped right past him.
Oh, Nade comes out, almost catches Ghost. Another one comes in, and we're trading utility here in the pistol round. That should be about all of it, though, and it's going to come down to the pistols from here on out.
I mean, oh well, again, they're playing such a tight game, but I think it's not working out for them. They're constantly, from what I'm seeing, stuck in these little choke points, and they've just been not able to fight their way through right now. And I'm wondering, can OL mix this up? Can he do something different? Otherwise, we're gonna, I hate to say it, we might be seeing the same exact setup as we have with the previous rounds. They've been stuck at these choke points and just cannot punch through. Radiate on the other end. Whoa, okay, I did not think. Did he come out? I must have missed.
Yeah, pushed out of B, looking for kills. But OL had completely rotated off of B. Everyone's over on A side now, getting ready to work their way into what seems to be an A rotation, or maybe they're just ping-ponging back and forth to try and pull apart this Eradiate defense.
Yeah, they're definitely bouncing back and forth. I think they're just poking and prodding, trying to see where they can kind of come in right now. And I think OL might have found an area right now, but I don't know if they're going to be ready for Infamous here. And they were not, as Infamous able to get that first pick off right there with Resi K now as the rest of the team tries to come in. But again, those Radiate players, I got to give them credit. They're constantly ready to balance and make something happen here. As all players have came back to B site now, as OL try to do kind of a back and forth, but I think ultimately didn't quite work out for them yet.
Ghost fighting through the window here as Plumra finds a connection through the hole on B, turns it into a 3v3, and there is a possibility for Outlaw to get themselves back into this one. They would be taking their first round in this series if they can lock it in here in a pistol round. Certainly would mean a lot. A late stage nade. Extrius was holding on to it for so long. With 7 seconds left, they throw it. It picks up a double, and Outlaw do not find success on their pistol round.
I mean, they've just been, Irradiate's defense right now has been able to hold them back as OL struggles right now to kind of push in through that defense. But I will say Irradiate might be getting a little too confident as they definitely let a player to die just from being a little too over-aggressive. But I will say they're playing confident because you know why? They're getting those picks. They're getting those picks.
Yeah.
They're getting those things going on. So
8 undefeated rounds right now coming in from Eradiate, and a big nade. I had said that all the utility had been utilized earlier on in that round, but I had seen that Extrius still had a grenade after all of it had been thrown in the early stages of the round. So I don't think that Outlaw, we're obviously expecting any more utility to be a threat. And man, timing to the last 30 seconds to push in ends up really hurting them because that grenade, they can't run away. They're committed into the push, and time is also ticking away for them. So it was really a double-edged sword, and Outlaw got caught right in between both edges. Down they went, and Eradiate not buying too heavily into this round, actually losing a player on their side. So yeah, again, you know, some unfortunate issues on the connection sides this afternoon. Hopefully they can get their 5th back in before the end of this round, or before this push comes to fruition from Outlaw.
Yeah, right now we're seeing Eradiate again going in with that. Oh, that bot is getting shot out. Never mind.
Interesting.
A team kill. I think I would have left it up, but you know, everyone has different opinions on bots. I'll let them. Oh, and that frag almost coming live right now. Not quite ending that line. Never mind. Uncle Ron gets a pick off there. I don't think they were ready for that, but I don't think Uncle Ron will be ready for Bad Boy Bishop. Here's that follow up on the back end, able to get a shot off. But I don't know. This 3v3 is making it look a little more even. But I mean, Plubra on 1 health is not looking healthy at all. As even just a light tap will definitely knock him out and send him out of this round. But it's closer, I think, technically, because of that bot loss. But it's still a hard round for OL. They just been again struggling to get through Eradiate. I'm not sure if Eradiate, just because they're on the defending side, they really set things up for themselves and really get that momentum going. You know, I'm wondering if that's gonna be the issue. Never mind, Plubra gets knocked out there from Uncle Ron's trip mine. Wow, these trip mines are just getting good value. You're totally right. Like you're getting a lot of piss.
Yeah, it's hard to pay attention to all the little details, and especially when you're getting challenged like this through the hole by Darwin, you may end up forgetting about some extra utility that's spruced around the objective. But it's a 2v2, and a Ghost and Bishop. Where is Bishop? Looking to work their way in to be the duo here on defense for Eradiate, set up and waiting for this push on B, and Ghost is the one holding the EMP, so I imagine that we're going to see a hatch drop down as Bad Boy comes through. A nade toss to the other side. Ghost pushes in. Infamous catches one with the Omen that they took off the body of their of the bot Joram, and will it lead to the final kill is the question.
I mean, Omen in hand versus a Spectral with a person at 70 health, and they are literally circling each other. I wonder if Bad Boy Bishop's gonna be able to go back, but they need that EMP. They have 30 seconds left in a round. Is that enough? Anyways, Bad Boy Bishop coming in sneakily on the side here. Are they gonna be ready for no? Infamous able to finish that one off and get another point on the board for Eradiate. As OL so close, so close to really finally getting their first, I think, win for a round, right, in the last, was that 9 rounds, and I don't know. I'm feeling for OL right now. I really am feeling for it.
Yeah, it's tough, but the Omen comes through big time for Eradiate there, picks up a couple of kills, and maybe that bot making the right decisions at the end of the day for the Eradiate team on the economy side. Now, however, it's definitely not. And unfortunate that they still haven't gotten their 5th in. It's not impacting their ability to defend too much.
They got that win, yeah.
Yeah, but now we go into a full buy. So this is going to be the fully kitted Outlaw squad pushing into them. And I don't think this will be as easy as the last 2 rounds have looked for Eradiate. And they really haven't been that easy. It's been been pretty toughly contested by this Eradiate squad. And yeah, look at this. A little bit of a different approach from Outlaw, sort of letting that bot simmer for several rounds, to Eradiate instantly reaching out to the subs, asking for another to jump in, and there was one available. Has hopped in to fill that 5th slot, and it's going to be Golden instead of a bot, which is going to be huge for this Eradiate defense when they're already up 2-0.
I mean, gotta love and appreciate those league subs when they come in, because I think there's such an underappreciated part of the league, because I know what it's like when you don't have those players and you need somebody to help you out. They're there for you. Because I think most people, those players would rather have I get it, the chemistry's kind of funky, but I'd rather have a random player play with me than just a bot. As we've seen, those bots are just not the best to work with, right?
I mean, the subs want to win too. You know, it helps their rating so that they can compete in higher tier matches, and so it's a win-win. You know, you're gonna get somebody that's wanting to compete for you and play hard on your team. That's a similar skill to your team. So yeah, it's a good system. It certainly is paying off for Eradiate. We'll see how much, of course. As a swing out there leads to a 1-2 trade, and we're into a 4v4.
Yeah, it might have been a little too risky of a play there from Uncle Ron, but they were able to get a trade at the bare minimum. Frag coming out right now and almost getting Resi K there, but that little water cooler definitely helping them out as they were able to deflect some of those shots from that frag there. But oh well, I do not know if Eradiate's going to be ready for this attack, as they're going to be hitting both sides, it looks like, of A site. I don't think there's any roamers this time around, so it's just gonna be a hard, you know, head-to-head fight right now between OL and Eradiate. I'm waiting to see for this breach on the side here. I'm not sure if they just went live. They're fighting against a shot off of Golden in that little hallway there. Now Darwin trying his best to defend up in that little corner now, but getting shot from every single corner right now. Rizky gets knocked off. It doesn't matter as the refrag is there right now. All coming down to never mind. Infamous is knocked down themselves, leading it down to extras, but they get refragged, and that's a first round on the scoreboard for OL.
Finally picking up a point, and well, it took 9 points in a row coming in from Eradiate, but they've finally gotten one, and now Eradiate not really in a tough spot. They've got 2 wins in a row in their economy bank. They're looking good, so they'll be able to full buy back into this round and put up utility. In the comparison, Outlaw finally getting a bit of a footing underneath them, a bit of an advantage on the economy side on their side. So they'll be able to come back in fully kitted for this next round. And if you can get really even 2 on the attack on ship, it is a very good chance that you can swap sides and put up 4 to 5 defensive rounds and lock in the map. So that's the Outlaw path to success. They need to stop the bleeding, which they have done. Now they need to get some momentum going, and it's going to come down to this next round. It really is. Round number 4 coming up here in map 2. If you are just tuning in, you've missed some good action so far, some consistent gameplay from Eradiate, but now finding a bit of difficulty with Outlaw prepping for a B site push.
I mean, we're seeing a very, very similar push that we saw from OL last time, where they have this very, very you know, condensed attack, as most of their players on this site might be going in for a very similar attack this time around. But it looks like maybe they're mixing up with a 4-1 setup, might be having that kind of deep flanker, as OL is trying to send someone deep and maybe have someone get some picks off as they're not expecting them. Because I've seen Eradiate, they're pretty responsive. They have all players probably ready on site to get an attack here. Never mind, Resi gets a shot through there, and the Ghost there with the 2-piece. Now giving them a lot of space coming on this B side right now for OL, as they might be going in for, I would say, a plan soon, but we'll have to see as the frag comes out live and not landing quite anywhere yet. As Extra is able to come in with that Omen in the back, but doesn't matter, the plug bruh on that refrag. And it is heating up right now for OL as they get another pick on the board. Now come down to Darwin and the plant. I don't know what OL did in that 10-minute break, but it looks like it's paying off.
Yeah, they're finally back into the swing of things, and this is maybe why there was some votes on the Outlaw side of things. You know, some folks that had the impression that Outlaw would be able to contest a little bit against Eradiate this afternoon. You know, sometimes you have an off map. Obviously, connection issues can impact a team's consistency, but yeah, they're looking much better here on ship. This is going to be 2 offensive rounds in the books, and I mean, with this kind of momentum, I think the economy is going to be rough for Eradiate, and so it could be a chance for them to potentially even take the lead, maybe even take 4-2 on the offensive side in the first half of ship, which would be huge. It would obviously set them up for a pretty easy 1, 2, 3 to get to a map 3 which is going to be the goal here for Outlaw. They need to push us to that third map. Otherwise, if Eradiate start to figure things out here on defense and put up more points on the board, it isn't going to be too easy. And it could be Eradiate taking the series in 2 maps. It's all really up to this next round, I think. If you let only 2 points go through, Irradiate still have the opportunity to take this map on ship and take the series.
Oh, definitely. And remember, we can't also discount the fact that Irradiate might have a really good attack against OL's defense, as we really didn't quite get to see what OL's defense looks like, as they only had one defending round in the previous match, right?
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how Irradiate attacks, how OL responds to that, and can they handle how Irradiate attacks? I can't. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I get a little. My words jumbled up a little bit there. But I mean, we'll have to see if Irradiate can lock back in. I think they'll be fine. But right now, OL is looking locked in and loaded, as they have been getting round after round, only 2 times, but they've been doing it recently. And I still think they are definitely on a potential path to recovery here, especially considering the fact that Irradiate, they've been playing so well, but they do got that league sub in, and that does mix things up. Either it's going to hit them really hard, or they're going to be able to perform just as well without their player. But we'll have to see that, because OL's been performing well, and I think it's kind of funny to watch this as they're all holding this one single door on the top corner here. But again, OL just likes that tight attack, as they don't really spread out too deep or anything like that.
Yeah, taking their time, doing a little bit of drone work. They've been kind of doing these later timed pushes, and so maybe it's a bit of an effort to throw off the patience of Irradiate. We'll see if it continues to work as they do finally make their way into the outside of A. Rezi also over here on B, and so we'll see what they can do on B side as well. There's the spread defense. Irradiate's ready for the 2-3 split. Not going to be any easy entries, but maybe the first bit of action could fall on to the B side if Rezi decides to push any further in. It's all, just a matter of timing. And I mean, they could really end up waiting quite a bit before they start to make an appearance with their entryways.
I mean, just looking at the time right now, it's about 1.5 minutes into the round. They're taking a lot of time, but I mean, we've seen OL, literally in the previous round, they might take their time, but when they get that attack going, they can definitely keep it sped up. And it looks like they might be going in for some sort of kind of a distraction play, as now all players have ran both to the other side. It looks like we can probably see an A push once more coming in here. And Infamous on the back there. I'm surprised no one saw that, but the frag coming out, not quite landing anywhere yet. And the frag, Infamous in with the Omen there, but it doesn't matter. Plubra able to get that shot off with Ghost now with the follow-up there. Now going in with the frag. Is it going to connect with anybody? But not quite, but definitely a lot of health off of Darwin there. And it's a pretty good attack start here with OL now.
Counter bit of smoke comes in. Uncle Ron tries to hold things down, but A goes, finds a kill. Darwin scoops up one, but A goes, finds another. Extrius needs to save the day, but they can't. And Outlaw taking control of the ship. They are the ones that are now in the full control. I mean, the lead 3-2. Three unanswered points in a row on offense. As soon as they got rifles in their hand, things started to go Outlaw's way here, and we go back down to the same objective we started on, but this time Outlaw have a few more tricks in their belt. They've got a few more bits of utility there. In comparison, Irradiate are not looking too great. They've got 4 rifles and an Omen, but their economy is 0 as they invest everything they have into this next round. It is the last round, of course, of the first half before we swap sides and reset economies. So you are going to spend every dollar, but that every dollar doesn't even get them with 5 rifles. So a little bit of a disadvantage on the kit side on Irradiate, but let's see if they can tie 3-3. It's salvageable, but it's not going to be an easy path to a victory at this stage, regardless of what happens with Outlaw.
I mean, it's crazy. Outlaw, it feels almost night and day. And, is that funny to say? As the frag comes out live, but Infamous not able to connect with anything there, unfortunately. But no, yeah, it's feeling like they're looking night and day almost. As it's crazy. I don't know if you noticed, but some of these attacks, it almost feels like OL is just literally walking their way onto site and just making things work out for themselves. And I'm wondering, can Irradiate what's going on? Is it because the roamers just aren't ready for a response there? Are they just not able to hold down this defense? Is it just too high? Like, too many players coming in, they just cannot hold down their angles, you know? And I get it. Oh, well, I think they mix it up. You know, they're taking a little bit long on these plays, kind of going back and forth, trying to, you know, really throw off the attention of these players here. But it's paid off in dividends, I think. Now, potentially, they can get 4-2 after coming off of a 7-0 loss from the previous map.
Ooh, a bad boy Bishop finding Uncle Ron on the far side as Outlaw really is spread out, looking to conquer all of the angles here with what looks to be a 3-1-1 split. And it's risky, but if you can land your shots, which they are doing, then it can lead to success. Flighty finds Golden. It's down to Irradiate on a trio, making a duo. On site at A, and more offense coming in. At least a kill on the backside for Extrius, but it's not going to be easy to retake A with everyone here defending, and Outlaw are up 4-2 on Ship off of a 7-0 loss on Factory. They've again found their sea legs and are looking much better here on Ship. As they are up 4-2, swapping sides, resetting economy. And like you said, maybe it's going to be the attacking side for Irradiate, where they'll also be able to put up 4 rounds like we saw here. Who knows? But only 3 more left for Outlaw on defense, and they've got themselves the map and are pushing us to that third.
I mean, Irradiate, they got to lock in. Otherwise, we're looking at a map 3. You know, I think anyone coming into a map 2 based off of that map 1 performance probably would have expected Irradiate to come out of this one. Maybe not as definitively won as that previous round, because I know OL at the end, you saw, you know, a lot of, you know, connection issues there. So definitely lost them, I think, 2, potentially even 3 rounds. Just to some of the issues there. But now all 5 players in. I think they just needed, you know, take a little bit of a breath, take that 10-minute break, and they have just been locked in since. And Irradiate has not been able to respond to them. But you know, it is a little bit different this time around as Irradiate is on the attack. They'll be dictating the tempo now as they decide to push in on this 3rd floor against OL. But I don't know, based off the performance, I think OL might be able to respond pretty well, but we'll have to see how Irradiate decides against that.
Yes, indeed, as we get into the pistol round of the second half. Nades and utility coming through. Resi finding one. Infamous tries to push in, but seems to have some issues there. Resi will find the kill, and Irradiate's down to just 3 on the attack. Just 2 on the attack, and Uncle Ron and Darwin. Yeah, 2v5 is not how they wanted to start this off.
I mean, they literally did all of this, and it's not even 2 minutes, you know, left in the round yet. It's only 1 minute has passed for them. It looks like Uncle Ron trying to run in with that Taurus in hand, but Flighty on the back end there, and that is a knock down for Flighty as they almost get that 2-piece, but Darwin unfortunately says, I am going to prevent that from happening. But I think ResiK coming in for the finish up here, and I don't know what's going on, but ResiK able to finish that one up and give not Irradiate, OL another win in the pocket. But I mean, 5-2, they're looking in shape, they're looking in form. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm mind blown right now. I'm mind blown right now.
It's a good adjustment at the very least from the Outlaw side. Ship definitely seemed to be the right choice. And at this pace, we are sprinting towards map 3. Not a overcommitment from Outlaw just yet. They've got 30 seconds left to shop, but I don't think we're going to see a triple rifle buy, which is on the table. Plebra and Resi could both pick up rifles if they choose. But they're only going to invest in that singular rifle and a bunch of utilities. So, nades, frags, static emitter, trip mines, all of that going to be deployed here. Door blockers, all of that in effect. But no extra rifle outside of Flighties. So, still cautious. You know, Outlaw's still very aware of where they're at. You know, in this ladder, it is the high tier, and a squad like Irradiate can bounce back in a snap of a finger if you let them. So it's clearly what they're trying to avoid here. by, again, taking the cautious path of just investing into one rifle.
Sorry, definitely a very interesting setup here right now from Eradiate, as all 5 players are crouching in, walking in. It almost kind of reminds me of, like, I guess turtles like migrating or something on the beach, or like something like, it just looks comedic. And it's just kind of a funny little thing to watch there.
What is it? It's some I don't know. I'm sure it's probably more tactical than anything, but we'll see how much it pays off for the Irradiate squad. At least they're trying to shift things up a little bit. It is a very reminiscent of the Outlaw offense style, where they do all sort of stick together when they do push in, although we did see them spread in those later rounds. But they are working their way in. They're inside A, undetected. The entire team's here to play, and 2 kills come through right away. 1 trades back and forth, and chaos on A site.
And it does not work out for Irradiate at all. It all went down. Unfortunately, not in a good way for Radiate, as they lost all their players in that last bit there. And oh well, getting another round in the pocket. I mean, I thought it was gonna work out for Flighty there, because I don't really remember. Flighty had that pheasant in hand, and I was wondering, are they gonna be able to get a 2, 3, 4 piece potentially? But no, they only got the 1 pick, and they started running, and unfortunately that didn't work out. And Irradiate almost might have been able to get that pheasant in hand, but didn't quite happen there. But I'm shocked how I don't know. I'm shocked that literally, what is it, five players crouched onto site, and nothing happened until then, right?
Yeah, they got way too close for what that strategy was, and well, Outlaw 1 round away from locking this thing in, going 7 into what a switch. 7-0 map 1 to Irradiate. 7-2 map 2 to Outlaw. Hopefully Irradiate put a few more points on the board so that it's not too damaging to that early. I mean, you don't want to squander that 7-0 on the points there, but it's definitely something that could be happening if Outlaw lock this next one in. They've got the economy advantage. I don't think Irradiate have very much utility, if really any, to bring into the table here, and Resi getting a bit aggressive, goes down very early.
Yeah, I think they might have been a little too confident there, and I get it. Resi's definitely a pretty solid player with several picks on their hand there. And the frag coming out from Flighty, and able to knock out the Exvius there, because you probably were not expecting that one, but now the shots are coming in straight through that wallbang, and nothing quite connecting yet. Never mind, Dorman down the corner there, knocking out Ghost, and now leaving 3 right now for Radiate. They're looking good and in shape right now. But oh well, still has that draw at a bare minimum, and Plumbo getting another shot off there.
Surviving, staying in at Irradiate, have put up a good round so far, but it is still 3v3 and plenty of time left. A lot of time for Irradiate to work with. Golden could pick up that rifle on the floor at their feet, but they're going to continue to push in instead with Uncle Ron here. And that's not maybe the best choice as Bad Boy finds another kill. It's up to Golden. Can they prove their worth? Being brought in as the sub, I think Bad Boy's going to have the angle, and they'll find the kill. It's Outlaw on the comeback for map number 2 as they take it 7-2. What is going on? What does map 3 hold for us? I have no clue.
Man, I mean 7-0, 7-2 on the other team now. I don't know. I'm honestly, I think Outlaw is going to come out of this. The momentum is on their side, and I think momentum's always a big switch up. We've seen now from both teams, they can get that win in. But the problem is, the Radiate, they got that win without the sub. And I think the momentum might have slowed down a lot with that sub hit. And it looks like OL has definitely picked up their own momentum. And it looks like it's going their way already, as that they came out 7-2 in his current round. Previous round, I guess it just finished up. So previous round, and it's looking good for them. I don't know. It's looking good.
I think if we it'll be interesting to see who picks what and where we go, because that'll determine side. I think there's a chance for Radiate, whereas if we go to somewhere like Skyscraper, that they could pick side. And if they can pick side on a map like Skyscraper, that would be a really nice way of sort of forcing the advantage into your hand and giving you an opportunity to stop the momentum, and get rounds back onto the board for your side. So the little strategy points like that don't often get, I don't think, considered in regular matches, but it's something in a best of 3 that you got to be considering. Any little advantage you can take, or anything you can do to put a pause in the energy of a team that's beating you is valuable. So we'll have to see what we get here from both of these squads for our third map, as we do wait for them to lock in their vote. And hopefully we don't have another timeout, but we very well could be going into another break. I think we're just swapping sides though. And so it could be, like I said, I think it's smart for Eradiate to be going on defense, really regardless of what map they get put into. Because if it's Arctic or Skyscraper, or I suppose Hideout, all on the table this season in Season 2. And voting will end, and it is Arctic. So I don't know. Out of all of the maps, I do feel like your defensive advantage isn't as strong on a map like Arctic.
I feel like it's just because the angles that you can get from the attacking team and so many breaches. I don't know if you know, but like there's a lot of breaches that you can use to really open up the attacking setup for these teams. It's impressive, I think, and I do appreciate the map design that Triangle Factory put forward with this. I think it showcases, hey, they can mix things up, make things a little bit more interesting. And I think it works out a little bit more in their favor. But anyways, it looks like these teams have locked in. We're going into Arctic right now, and we will see y'all in a bit. Arctic. I mean, I love seeing new maps per season. You know, it kind of feels like that cadence that we've had with VRML. Like, I think per season we've had a new map every time, and it's been fun. It's been fun seeing these competitive teams really lock things in, make new strategies, and make them work out at a competitive level. Right? It's one thing to have this work out in pubs and just play randomly with your friends, and even competitive, right? But to lock it in and really plan these things through, and then try to fight your way to the top 8. For these leagues, you gotta really know these maps on like the back of your hand, but also how to attack them, how to approach them, and how to change your strategy up, because every map is built a little bit different than the other one, so it doesn't play exactly the same way, and that requires a different strategy when you're attacking it too, right?
Yeah, I think Arctic in particular is also still a bit of an unknown element in some cases. Obviously a lot of teams have put a lot of time on it, but it is still fresh into the league for Season 2, and sometimes you go up against a team you haven't played yet against in Arctic, and a little bit of an off-meta spot like that from the Infamous can catch you off guard as Eradiate right back into it. This could be a great start to get their foot into the, honestly, to just completely stall the momentum. If they can pick up this pistol round, it'll be vital, because it's been, I think, 7 unanswered points that have come through from Outlaw.
I mean, it looks like both of these teams love their win streaks, because Radiate themselves had a 7 win streak, or wait, 7 to 9. They had 9 win streak against OL, and now OL said, "Hey, let's get our own win streak ourselves." But man, I could not even guess the action here as I was checking both sides. They had that really wide attack from OL, which again is a little different because you've seen OL do very focused attacks here, but it did not quite work out for them there, as now they're inching in slowly through this red room from Resi K here. But Uncle Ron on that back end, I'm wondering if they do have that breach from the other side. Never mind, that is an open breach. They're definitely there, and Uncle Ron on this back corner here trying to get some shots off. I don't think they're expecting Resi K on the back end there, but Resi K able to get a shot off on Infamous, finally getting some payback for their teammates back there for OL.
Yeah, a near death there, but Eradiate escape to defend another day with 4 left alive. Outlaw still trying to work their way up to, seems like, a site, and instead Eradiate are really out roaming about on this top floor now, and not afraid to leave that objective, and I suppose they're just shifting around to eventually come down to a site from a different angle. So yeah, they've reinforced A now, and it's going to be all 4 of Eradiate here, ready and waiting for Outlaw to set up and push.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about this map. It's so big, so you're able to really rotate anywhere on the defending side. But you got to really, again, know those angles. Where can you go? How can you utilize them? and have them work out in your favor here. It looks like Golden does see a good opportunity here. Unfortunately, doesn't not able to have something happen from it. As he gets a couple shots off on himself. Unfortunately, not able to get anything off on Bishop there. As Uncle Ron takes a good amount of shots to the face there, and Rezuke coming in for the follow-up. I don't think they're gonna be able to finish this one up, and looks like they are in a two-piece there. Oh, that was just a beautiful coordination, but doesn't matter as a refrag. And Bad Boy Bishop's been knocking back on them, and now come to Darwin, and what is going on? What's that? Oh well, trying to get the plant off with a one-shot kill. Doesn't quite happen there, but it's fine. Got that follow-up there from their own teammate, able to give them one round in the pocket there. Knife Fire, what are you thinking? I mean, Iradiate, I don't want to say they had it, but they had such a very, I think, strong start there. I think knocking 2 players out from OL side. I don't know.
It really felt like Iradiate was going to do what they had to do on that pistol round, regain the momentum. It's now 8 unanswered points for Outlaw as they do continue their streak into the second map. And that's a good start. You know, it's always nice to take an early offensive round, regardless of what map you're on. It's hard a lot of times to find those offensive wins. And I do think Arctic lends itself a little more to offense with certain objective placements, but it's very dependent on where those objectives are. So we'll have to see how this unfolds for the Outlaw offense, and if they do get more opportunities like that. I do think this one a little bit more defensive favorable, but I don't know. I feel like I feel like they did, to your point, a very good job of really splitting this map and making it a very even experience. You know, very 50-50, and down to execution and skill of the teams and players.
I mean, that's what I love, right? The fact that you really don't know who's going to win on either side, on either half, right? When we say that a lot of things like, you know, hideout or factory that are certain, you know, tend to favor one side or the other, it's more like, I feel like when you're playing on the opposite side, it's more about minimizing loss than it is about really getting those wins. When it's a little closer like this map, it feels more like you're actually really earning those rounds. It's more about playing to win and not necessarily playing to minimize losses, right? And that's a very different kind of game style to play, and I think more enjoyable ultimately for players as they're fighting to win, not necessarily fighting just to not lose as much, right?
Oh, I realized I was on a lower quality mic. I have to adjust my levels, but I might sound better for the back half of this this series as Outlaw do get ready to push in. Rezi finds a kill or two. Blubra scoops up a second, and momentum continues to be in Outlaw's favor as 3 are left alive on B site. A is going to be next on the hit list for the Outlaw offense, or maybe now they shift over to B and begin their push in for the EMP plant. There's pings coming in on the defensive side to be cautious of any breaches, and really A site now lacking on any defense as they rotate to prioritize B.
I mean, Iradiate right now looking in bad shape against OL as they have a good setup. 2 players down on Iradiate side. It's really just OL's decision now. How do they want to approach this upcoming minute left in the round? And I think they got a good favor. I mean, a Vezin in hand, 2 Vezins in hand. So off to a good start right now for OL. And that momentum, it's looking hot, and it looks like they might be cooking another round up. But they got to do something. The time is counting down. And it looks like the breaches are coming live right now as the frags are themselves too. And it looks like Rezi come in with a beautiful Vezin, 2 faces down. And now leaving up just to the players to finish that one up. Now Darwin holding it up in that corner. I think they're probably just gonna just hope for the best here, as it's a 1v5 situation, and I would not be confident if I were them, as OL now having everything locked down on site. And they're not playing around. They're pulling off. They're playing it very careful, and that's good. I think, you know, people get a little confident sometimes coming in this upcoming round. Oh, never mind. It looks like they decided they are gonna be playing this one. Darwin coming in live, but gets shot down by the Vezin in hand as Rezuke might have gotten a 3-4 piece in total. I don't know who got the other kills. I don't think it was an ace, or maybe it was.
I think it might have been, but either way, it's a big round. 5 alive, 2 Vezins carried through to the next round. Their investment completely taking itself into the next round, so their economy is in very good shape.
In comparison, Irradiate are spending every dollar they have on getting 5 rifles into the hands of the defense in the hopes that they can shut down this momentum. 9 unanswered points in a row have come through on the Outlaw side. It's crazy to go from 9 points in a row on Irradiate to 9 points in a row from Outlaw. I do wonder if maybe we're going to start to see a bit of back and forth erupt here from the Irradiate side. This is going to be a very telling round, because next round they're going to be ecoing, barely buying into the 5th round, and then relying on the loss bonus for the 6th. So, you know, it really is very important. They at least find kills here so that their opponents don't have as strong an economy.
Yeah, I mean, oh well, looking really in good shape here. I'm excited. You know, this is a good switch up. I think it makes it way more interesting of a cast right when both teams are fighting back and forth. But to your point, you know, Radiant's got to slow down this bleeding, because it is still going, and it might start causing a lot of problems now. As OL is doing such a good job on the attacking side, I wouldn't be shocked if they can hold up this same performance on the defending side right now against Irradiate. And if I were the person that voted for Irradiate this week, I'd be feeling a little scared right now. Never mind, Uncle Ron able to knock down Blighty there. They got a little too confident upon that entrance there, and just what I'm talking about. Radiate, they didn't have things work out, but it doesn't matter. Risky able to follow that one up and get that refrag on Golden, as OL is starting to get this entrance here and is looking really good for them.
A lot of guesswork coming in as some big damage done through the smokes by Resi. A Ghost finds the 2nd kill onto Irradiate, and a low HP Infamous is trying to hold things down. A refrag from Uncle Ron salvages what would have been a 4v2 and turns it into a 3v2, making a 3v1. A big pickup from A Ghost, and Extrius is alone in the 1v. I mean, this is not ideal. B site being pushed, 1:40 left. OL looking for their 10th point in a row. Extrius is all that stands between them and that point, and they'll go down. EMP planted, more money into the pocket. Outlaw are in very good shape. Matter of fact, I'd say they're heading towards a 6-0 if they keep this momentum up.
It's looking hot. I mean, OL's cooking, and they're cooking really good. I might want to get a bite myself, because it looks like it's really good right now for OL. I don't know what they're cooking though. They gotta let me know what they like cooking up. But we'll have to see that later. Outlaw, I keep saying it feels like night and day. And how better than to potentially finish this one up on the new map, Arctic. I love seeing Arctic. It's so fun. I think it's such an interesting map. It looks pretty on the outside. They have that weird spot where you can dive. You poke a little too far forward. It's got a lot of interesting spots. Right?
Yeah. No, it's a fun map to tune into, and especially to watch teams at a high level play it. You can really learn a thing or two by watching this series and observing how a team like Outlaw, when they're in their groove, are executing on their plays. It's solid in terms of how they are coordinated, working in, breaching through, utilizing utility very effectively, very good smokes, shooting through those setups. There's a clear understanding as a team of this map. They put the time in, I would have to argue, on scrims, and over the course of what has been 5 weeks already of season 2. I think they had 30+ rounds on Arctic, if I remember correctly. Either way, a nade comes in here, doesn't catch anybody, and we're off to the races.
Yeah, and it looks like Uncle Ron hiding in a little corner, probably waiting to get some heads off of that little Taurus. We'll have to see if anything comes in fruition from that. But it looks like the trip mines went live, but unfortunately, they did not quite get the OL player. I'm kind of shocked. I saw both of them come out. I think maybe the placement might have been a little bit awkward for the damage, so it didn't quite do anything for them there. And it looks like dining room there, getting some good entrance here. And Uncle Ron almost popping a top off there from them, but doesn't matter. Flighty able to get knocked off, but doesn't matter. There is the refrag from OL. They are now walking themselves through kitchen and almost blowing themselves up. But they are okay there. I don't know if you saw that frag. Go to a little off to the side, but hey, didn't quite do any damage there, thankfully, for OL side. But now come down to 3 players from a Radiate side. And again, at a disadvantage coming into this current round against OL.
Darwin committing to a very tight tuck in behind the couch, or excuse me, the chair, as
it is just up to the trio. There's the wall opening up, and now Darwin's position a little bit more potentially exposed, but not exposed enough. Resi goes down, Golden swings out to find a double, and everything goes wrong for Outlaw. Finally, Eradiate have found a point after 11 perfect rounds, or 11 wins rather, not perfect, but 11 wins in a row. It is finally Eradiate finding one, and maybe this is the start to the 3-3 first half of the final map. Who knows? But right now, a tie. Yeah, a tie would mean a tie in the series. We have a winner of each map, and so it's it's
right.
not what either one of these teams want right now. You know, we're they need a winner on this map to lock in the win on the series. So either way, Radiate are again on the board after 11 unanswered points. I think that's huge. Momentum could start to shift now, but we are at least into an even economy off of that round win. Radiate finally have the ability to full buy here.
I mean, they gotta find something to switch up right now, and I think Eradiate maybe is finding at least a little hint of it, right? And that's good enough to make something happen here, because we still have a lot more rounds left in this game. They have another 8 rounds to go potentially. So Eradiate definitely is down, but not quite out. But we cannot discount how good this momentum is looking right now for OL. As even with that loss, they still have 5 Vedens in the hand, so definitely a really good economy matchup against Eradiate right now. And I think this might be a deciding round. I think whoever wins this might end up winning the upcoming round and really kind of giving themselves a solid advantage coming into the upcoming round. And the frag coming out, I don't think it almost got them, but didn't quite work out right now for, I think it was a Radiate side that threw that frag out. That was such a deep frag that didn't quite hit anyone, which I'm shocked. I'm really shocked.
An early bit of a frag there, but yeah, it's still a patient Outlaw team. They don't want to go flying into another round loss. They've been obviously running with momentum, but now there has been a bit of break in that, so we'll have to see if they can regain control. But it is going to be all about very much getting over to the pushing into this objective. Uncle Ron may be the first one to find action. It really depends if Uncle Ron commits to pushing out here. They could find his whole team here, and they'll find nothing. Everyone shoots Uncle Ron as they cross there, and here comes the Outlaw squad. Bad Boy Bishop gets chucked down big time by a nice immolation nade, stalling their advancement forward for a time being. Infamous picks up a headshot. Health syringes are coming in, and Outlaw staying in this one, 4v4.
I mean, these trades back and forth, they are really fighting for this round. And I mean, I got to give credit to that immolation. I don't think I have seen, I don't really see kills from them often. You know, I really appreciate when someone is able to get a kill from them. As they're, you know, it's hard to get the timing right. It's hard to really get it set up. But when you do, it's such a beautiful thing to watch. It's literally your team, your enemy burns due to your own little grenade that you set up there. But looks like OL will be setting up in this. I forgot the exact name of this room, but it's totally fine. This room right now, as they are getting ready to breach into this A site, and Infamous hiding in this corner. But I'm wondering if it's gonna put them in a little bit too bad of an disadvantage. Frag comes out and they get defrag themselves. And Resi K giving another shot there as in the corners. They were not expecting that. I think Darwin's gonna get a little pick out here, but it is not quite working out right now. But did swing things a little bit more. Never mind, Resi K getting another shot off. But can it get another? No, it doesn't matter. Actually, he's able to clean that one up. Now leaving it down to never mind. It comes down to Plubra as they were to finish that one up against Eradiate, giving them another round in the pocket. And man, Eradiate, they're right there. They're right there, Nightfire. They almost had that one. You know, things were swinging back and forth. Who knows?
It was close, but goes the way of Outlaw, and they continue to maintain their control over the economy and momentum. That was a big investment coming through for Eradiate. They needed to put a second win on the board for them to be able to really buy big here in this next one. 5-1 isn't ideal, but maybe swapping sides will be what Eradiate really need. Maybe they need to get onto the attack to set the appropriate pace. We'll have to see. We're into the last round of the half, though, so all the cash is coming in. Outlaw are buying all of the utility, and we'll see if they're able to use it all. As, yeah, everyone's coming back to get themselves a bit of extra flashbang or immolate, whatever they can get their hands on, as they have 10 seconds left before they're going to work their way over to site.
Yeah, I mean, the economy disadvantage is there, but it's not too pronounced, right? You got players like Uncle Ron with, it looks like a Viper in hand, but a lot of the other players, I think it's about 3 other players got that Pheasant in hand. It looks like Infamous does have to scrounge for that Cadillo into this upcoming round, so we'll have to see if that will be enough for Iradiate side, but I mean... Oh well, they're looking good again. That momentum, man. They took the hit, but look at them back in stride. Back in stride against Eradiate right now as they are getting set up right now to potentially go in on this. It looks like an A side push again. But as we know, this little corner is definitely a funky area to play against. And we definitely saw some good value come out from some of the Eradiate players here.
Just a matter of time as it does tick down. 2:20 left. And what is the play? Just be patient. Really try and test the patience of Eradiate and make them squirm a little bit on the last round before they push. It certainly worked well for them so far as flashes come in and end up impacting the push negatively as Rezi's blinded, stalled on the hallway there. It does take damage. We'll be able to heal up quickly though, and well, a little bit of a botched utility toss there leads to, oh well, not quite flying.
Was that a frag that just got?
I think it was. I don't know if it was tossed intentionally or thrown to them, but I think it was handed to them, tossed down the
Okay, okay. I have seen mistriggered thrones before. I was wondering if that was one of those. And Infamous getting some shots off on that Condillo. Not quite doing too much damage, but definitely a fair amount of damage against Bishop there. As is again, as Molly just holding them back, preventing them from having anything happen. And the frag again coming deep, but not quite getting any value out of it yet. As OL is now again being held off by Iradiate, which we haven't seen in a minute. I don't know if you remember, Iradiate's defense used to hold him down a good amount, but it is not quite happening here. It looks like Flighty comes in, swings wide, and able to knock down Golden down for the count. It's Flighty trying to get another pick off, and Infamous there in that long corner with that Cadillo in hand. Now leaving it down to a 4v4. Got a trade here. OL's got to have something happen. It's 30 seconds counting down on the clock now, and Iradiate is just trying their best to hold them back.
Infamous is going to push out with the Cadillo. They're going to find a headshot. Rezi will pick up the refrag. It's a 3v3. Door blockers stalling them for now, but they have to push in soon. 20 seconds on the clock. Darwin goes down on site. It's a chance for an EMP plant, but it has to happen now or the smoke is going to deny vision very nicely from both Uncle Ron and Extrius. That nade doesn't go deep enough. 9 seconds. When they get the EMP plant, they can. Now it's retake time. Defend and hold as Iradiate push through. Uncle Ron looking for frags. Can't find him. Whew, chaos in the final round here in the first half.
I mean, I did not know what was going to happen. It was crazy. A lot of stuff was going on there. But, I mean, the OL players got that plan down. They got to do something now. And never mind, actually simply get that finish up. And Ghost there with a follow-up right now against Uncle Ron. Now leaving down to Extrius and A Ghost here. And unfortunately for them, A Ghost able to finish that one out and give OL another round in the pocket. I mean, 5-1. OL's looking in such good shape, especially to come on to the defending side. I know we said this map tends to be a little bit more even, but we cannot, discount the fact that it's a little bit different, playing on that defensive side. Not quite, like especially with the amount of space on this map and where to run around. If you have roamers set up, they can do a lot of things here and get a lot of value out of them. So we'll have to see if OL, defends this. Right, but we haven't seen, if I recall, Iradiate's attack hasn't been such a good point against OL. It's mostly been their defensive side that's held up against OL.
Yeah, very true. We'll have to see what they can put together here. The pistol round sets the tone. If they lock this in, it really is going to be bad news. They'll be able to fold by, go big into that last round, potentially last round. And what a swing it would be from losing 7-0 on the first map to winning 2 maps, 7-2, 7-1. If they can put up 2 points in a row here, it's not out of the question. Outlaw just got to stick together and weather the storm as Iradiate do go on to the attack for the
back half of map number 3. If you are just tuning in, you missed a lot of action. We've been here for a good bit of time now, a solid afternoon of gameplay as these two teams fight for this series at a high tier into the diamond tier of the NA division.
Yeah, I mean, we saw this go back and forth. Eradiate finishing this one out. Such a good first map. But, I mean, this comeback on map 2 and now map 3 is setting OL to look like really good. And especially those community votes, they would be the upset for this map. And I think it was, I believe, about 60 votes for Eradiate to 11 or 10 on OL side. So whoever those 10 or 11 people were, you know, I'd be watching this cast, holding on, and just really hoping that it's gonna work out in your favor. But it looks like a minute down already in the round, as now OL has to defend against his attack here from Eradiate, as the frag coming out, almost knocking down the players on Eradiate there. But they do have that EMP down. They got to make something happen here. And it looks like Flighty on the back end is coming in for that roaming play. And it's going to get some value there, but it doesn't matter as Uncle Ron has that forest down. Never mind, goes in for a 2-piece themselves and able to finish that one down. Now leaving it down to Darwin on Eradiate side. And they are really far from everything. What's going on here?
Yeah, a little out of sync. I don't know if it's technical issues, is what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like the arm might not be working.
Yeah.
You know, that is the funny thing about VR. Literally, one of your arms could be malfunctioning, and you just got to deal with it.
Gotta get more batteries for your arms, you know. And, well, we'll see if Darwin can find any kills, really. They just need to do some damage, put some credits into their pocket for the next round. Hey, Ghost is here, but Darwin does find that kill, so 1v3, the comeback would be, that would be a bit, I mean, 1v4 pistol round comeback would be unheard of, quite frankly, because you don't have health syringes, you don't really have an advantage. It is an even matchup, to say the least, when we go into those 1v1s, and it's hard to win 3-4 1v1s in a row. They'll take some big headshots, and Rezi will shut things down, stops the question from being asked at all. And one round to go for Outlaw to lock in the series win.
Man, what a comeback. That's all I got to say. What a comeback from OL side to really swing things in their favor and Irradiate. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just the mix up with that sub. Because, again, you know, it does take a hit on that team chemistry. It makes things not quite click in the way that they were, especially with how they were going in that map 1. Because I think they might have had that sub a little bit early on in that map 2 right on ship. So unfortunately that's how it is for Radiate. But again, I will say I'd rather a league sub than a bot. I mean, you know what I mean? I know people are like, it's not worth it because the chemistry's off and all these things. But I think we all know how these bots are. I'd rather a league sub any day.
Especially on the attack. You're not going to get anything out of a bot on the attack. It's simply going to send itself into your opponent. So it's no easy task. You know, again, it's hats off to the subs that are able to do it to some degree of success, and you know, to the point, you're filling a slot regardless. You're more helpful than not, regardless if you are being requested at that sub level. So, does look like Irradiate may be having a tech issue, as Uncle Ron seems stuck in place.
Yeah, getting that little running man going. You know, that's how it is.
Not
Anyway.
what Irradiate need on the round that they need to come back on, and A-Ghost is going to find an early kill that opens things up into now what technically is a 4v3 or 5v3 because Ron isn't here. Kenny will take over, and we'll see how the bot can handle things.
Yeah,
Case in point, A-Ghost finds the kill, Rezi scoops up a second, Irradiate maybe accepting their fate here with 2 left alive and a 2v5 trying to push in. X-Ray is able to find one, but the team getting aggressive on Outlaw's side. They'll scoop up that second to last kill, and Darwin will be alone with a Viper in hand and a 1v4 going up against a fully kitted Outlaw team.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing a very similar thing happen again where Darwin's playing that really deep area, and unfortunately it just isn't quite happening. And you know, I'll say I'm not going to put it on the player because it does require the main attacking team to have some success. But as we're seeing that OL team, they've just been knocking down these players, and oh, never mind, Ghost on the back end there, as they were not expecting Darwin. Sorry, Darwin was not expecting that to happen. but does not matter. They're able to get themselves one more round in the pocket and give them that map win. And I believe that will be their series win with 2 wins out of 3 there. And it's looking good. You know, that was a crazy comeback if I, am one to talk about it, because I was not expecting them to have things set up there. And especially with that first map, it was looking so rough right there for OL. But they must have locked in, must have had a really good break talk, and they just said, let's keep it pushing, let's keep it going forward. And it's just been a high momentum push for them all the way through. I mean, 7-2, 7-1. There were close rounds, do not get me wrong, but those points came down to OL at the end of the day.
Yep, an exciting series to tune into, and one that I'm happy we stopped by for this afternoon. But that'll be it for us here on the desk. I'll do the sign off today, as my name is Nightfire with 2 E's, my host Martini joining us the afternoon, and we'll see you all probably next week for more Breachers action. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and come back. But until then, stay classy. VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.